Hi there, K-Bar user again. Alright, well, I did the knife video of my custom knives. Along with everything else, I ran into a gentleman by the name of Kevin Campbell. I ran into him on a place called the Bushcraft Trading Post. If you have extra gear, go over to Bushcraft Trading Post, and you could probably trade off your extra gear for some stuff you may be wanting to use and just haven't. That's where I got my first hammock set up from. Got a lot of great stuff. Some of the great stuff I got is sitting right here. You're going to see it all over the place, and there's a lot to go through. So, Kevin started doing leather work. And as the world gets smaller and smaller, as it turned out, me and Kevin's known each other for quite a few years. And we just ran into each other. So he started doing leather work. Now, John the M.I. Woodsman, he sent me a terrific tinder pouch that I use. This is Kevin's version of a tinder pouch. Got an antler slide with the strings. He makes multiple different pouches for tinder. The stitching on these pouches, you can see some right here. They're incredible. It's multicolored, so he had to stitch pieces together. It's just a great job. Now you can see how deep that pouch is. So I would take it's about 6 to 7 inches. But he does phenomenal work. He really does. This is a soft, maybe 3-4 ounce leather. That's a tinder pouch. You can see the depth. You really can't, but it's a great pouch for tinder. And you just slide it shut. That's his tinder pouches. The other thing I'd like to show you, and I'm trying to do this quick because it's going to be a long video. Oh, something ran behind me here. We all do flint and steel fires. And personally myself, I like having a flint and steel wallet. I don't like carrying them in cans. They tingle around and make all kind of noises. Char cloth I usually fold up in a piece of cloth. So, we were talking, and this is Kevin made. Natural sinew stitching on the outside. The pockets are that deep, so there's plenty of room to fit your, I would give it about 1.5 inches, 2 inches. Plenty of room to fit your steel and flint. If you're carrying a flat piece of flint, you might even be able to get some char cloth in this with it. Okay, that's one version. This is the standard version, I think he calls it. Just regular, leather tongs that go around and tie it down to an antler tip. Pull it shut. And when I get that Charles Hoffman steel, it's going on one of these. This is another one. It's a little bit lighter leather. Pouches are the same, but I think he calls this his oh God. This one of them are a standard, one of them is a little bit better, one of them is a deluxe. I forget the name for it. These are great little tinder or flint and steel pouches. Put in conjunction with the tinder pouch, it doesn't take up much room at all. And, you got fire, or your next fire. Now, this is his deluxe version. It's got a nice big antler button, leather thonging. This is the deluxe version of it. Up here you got a pocket. It's, down here you got a pocket. 2 of them, actually. There's an outside one here. There's also an inside pocket. So you have 2 pockets right here, one to fit flint, one to fit just a bit of char cloth. On the other side, there's another pocket with a deer antler. It's brand new leather, so it's kind of hard to maneuver it. And your flint would go in there. But yeah, its stitching is also new. It's a triple fold. Once you fold it over, take the leather thonging, of course, put it around the antler, pull it shut. That didn't work exemplarily well for me. Pull it shut. They're beautiful flint and steel wallets. Of course, the wind's blowing up, blowing my cover all over the place. These are really nice. I mean, I'm really enjoying Kevin's work. Outside of that, I mean, he makes a few just, kind of brogan pouches. Got really good leather, belt loop on the back, good snap, lots of room in that pouch. Even if you want to just put it in your backpack as a tinder pouch. Sewing is really good on Kevin's work. I'll try to put the links below in the description as to where his website is. I believe it's Bloomfield, Bloomfield Leatherworks. You can look him up on Facebook too under Kevin Campbell. Send him a message if you're interested in ordering one. The flint and steel wallets range in price from $25 to $45. The deluxe model is $45 with shipping. Tinder pouches, I believe, are $20, $25. Now, we're getting down to the good stuff. That's some nice work. It looks kind of off because of the way I got it packed, but this is Kevin's fire bag. Belt bag, I use them for fire kits. Same deal with the closures of most of his stuff. You know, it's just an antler closure. And I've got, I've got my whole kit that I carry for for hunting in here. Coffee, stove, everything. So you can see the depth of the bag. Stitching is nice. It's all hand stitched. It's a very light ounce of leather so that, it has room to stretch. And, I'm loving this guy's work. I really am. He's also on Deep Woods Bushcraft and Survival, our group that I mentioned before. He's also on Bushcraft Trade Group. You can't buy him there, but you can trade. Yeah, that's one. This is, like I said, Kevin's work. There's a lot of leather here, so this is another one. And this is my main fire bag. Of course, it goes on my belt. But this is my main fire bag. It might look big, but it's really not. It's got magnifying glasses, you name it in there. Even John's tinder pouch with tinder in it. Tindered in it. Yeah, But look at the work on that. That man does beautiful work. Nice gussets. Eyelets are solid. Even the back has got some, you can see it, the scallop work on the thing there. Nice cross stitching decoration. Beautiful antler tips. Guy does great work. Now, got a couple more things for you here. This is one of his possible pouches. Or hunting bag, whatever you want to call it. D-rings on the side. I attached the jute twine braided line to it. It'll work for fire, it'll work for rope, whatever I need it for. It's a nice thin bag. On the inside of the bag, I don't know if you're going to be able to see it or not. Yeah, there we go. He has different pouches. There's a separate interior. On the inside itself, you got two separate little pouches. They're that long, about 3 to 4 inches, and a generous main pouch. Now, to be honest with you, everything that I use for hunting will fit in that pouch. Probably most anything I would really need except for shelter. If I used a blanket roll, I could go camping with this. But yeah, as you can see, the stitching is... Kevin uses an outside cross stitch a lot. The stitching is really good. Some of it's accented, some of them it's not. Some of them's latigo, some of them's sinew. You can see the stitching on the side where the D-rings are held in. It's not going anywhere. But as far as leather work and bags and whatnot are concerned, I mean, this thing is great. I love it. And you know, I have my leather haversack that I use a lot. I'll be using this more often. As you can see, there's the two pockets right there, and the cross-stitching separation. And the secondary pouch, which is about as deep as my hand. The next thing I had Kevin build for me is a 22 holder. Everybody knows I do my 22s. They're constantly with me. Great stitching though. I gotta, for a guy just starting into this, the guy does phenomenal stitching. And holds a box of 22s, nice and secure. And for, what I carry with me, this works great. And it's basically just a fold-over design. The design itself, I believe, came from Stitch Gear. I come up with the design. I asked Kevin to make this. But I believe it's from Stitch Gear that they do these foldovers with the lacings on the sides. And I asked Mr. Lutz if I could do this. And he said, yeah, as long as we give credit to where credit's due. And you're darn tootin' I always will give credit where credit's due. Now, last thing I want to show you. This is something I had Kevin make that like I said, I asked Mr. Lutz. Credit is given where credit's due. This is a Stitch Gear design. You can go over at stitchgear.com to find the same thing to hold your canteen in. Unfortunately, right at this time of my medical expenses, I couldn't afford one, so I asked Kevin to make me one, with Dan's permission. This is what we come up with. It's the same thing as a Stitch Gear, lacing on the side, except that this is a different type of cording. But it holds the whole kit. There's the cooker, the canteen cup, the canteen, and the lid. The lid fits behind everything. Nalgene canteen, of course. Triple riveted on the back. It looks crooked, but it really isn't. There we go. It's triple riveted on the back and stitched. You got 3 fingers for a belt loop. Phenomenal piece of gear. It's made from about a 7-ounce leather, I guess it may be. Phenomenal piece of gear. And like I said, with all credit due, that's a Stitch Gear design that I had a gentleman make me. I asked Dan. Dan said as long as I give credit, and the credit does go to Stitch Gear. I haven't seen him make this yet, but it's a Stitch Gear design type. So we'll, give credit where credit's due too. Once again, gentleman's name is Kevin Campbell. You can find him on Bushcraft Trading Post. Bloomfield Leatherworks is the name of his adventure. Great little possibles bag. Or trekking bag. I don't carry much else to go trekking except for a water bottle and, you know, stuff in case I get lost. But if I tag that with what I need plus what's in here, which is basically like a EDC survival kit for the woods, that and my canteen right there, I'm set. And, you know, possibly a bedroll. That's the thing, yeah. Possibly a bedroll shelter. Done. Yeah, he does phenomenal work. And the prices are reasonable. Like I said, this is his deluxe model. This is the one with the 3 pockets and the or the button closure on the bottom. This is just a general belt bag. Tender pouch. Cinch clothing. Yeah, cinch clothing. You cinch it around your neck. Breathe better that way. This is a standard version of a Flint and Steel wallet. And this is also another standard version of Flint and Steel. And this is the 22 holder. Credit due to Stitch Gear for the design. And I just wanted to bring you all of that and show you that if you ever get a chance to get over there and look Kevin up, give him a shout. He does great work. And like I said, he's reasonable too. If you, you know, you really can't afford something, you may be able to trade a piece of gear with him. He'll do trades too. It's part of his company. He does trades. So, this K-Bar user, I want to thank you for your time and your patience. If you like the video, hit the thumbs up button. Don't forget to hit the bell. And, yeah, Bloomfield Leather. Great guy right here in Pennsylvania. So, thank you for your time and patience once again, and we'll see you on the next one.